Komodo National Park plans to be temporarily closed in 2025. And traffic control operation Patuh Agung underway. So watch yourself until the 28th of the month. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is July 18th, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Wow, it is lovely. 28.6 degrees Celsius, humidity 60%, and wind speed 4.7 kilometers per hour. Yesterday, the wind speed was, 30.3 kilometers per hour this time. And that went on from 6 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the morning. Just really, really windy yesterday, but nice blue skies, beautiful blue ocean, and some interesting news coming out about Komodo National Park. And there are police out doing their job and giving people tickets for all sorts of traffic violations. And so you want to be wearing your helmet, stopping at the light, not having 18 people on your motorbike, and having all of your documents, driver's license and STNK and all of that, because they are out and they're apparently serious from what they say. And so, let's get started. Area recovery. Komodo National Park plans to be temporarily closed in 2025. The Komodo National Park Office, BTNK, plans to close the Komodo National Park area to tourism activities. Details of the closure have not been disclosed yet. The plan to close tourism activities in Komodo National Park is currently being prepared. There is a possibility of a total closure for tourism. This year, the study will be completed, so it's hoped that by the middle of next year it can be implemented gradually, according to the head of BTNK. He said, "Of course, we will pay attention to management needs and community response. It's possible that it will be closed completely." Why is it being closed? Well, 4 reasons, according to Pak Hendrikus. He explained that these 4 reasons for the closure of tourism activities in Komodo National Park are the following. First, Komodo National Park needs to recover from the intense tourism activities so far. He said, providing the opportunity for the TNK area and natural resources to rest and or recover from the pressures caused by tourism activities, which have recently been very intense and tend to increase. The second reason is to encourage tourism spots on the mainland of Flores Island as the main destination besides Komodo National Park. So far, tourist visits have only been centered in the Komodo National Park area. Third, he said, increasing economic activities for communities around tourist attractions on Flores Island and its surroundings. And finally, encouraging management effectiveness through restructuring human resources, infrastructure relations with parties, and especially communities in the area as part of the revitalization of the Komodo National Park management instruments. Of course, he said, everything must go through scientific studies and hear input from all related parties. And the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, through the Labuan Bajo Flores Authority Implementing Agency, wow, that's a mouthful, said the plan to temporarily close the park is a common practice in national parks in Indonesia. So, plans to close the park sometime in mid next year. What about that? Closure of Komodo National Park could cripple Labuan Bajo tourism. The plan of the Komodo National Park Office, BTNK, to close the park to tourism activities has the potential to cripple Labuan Bajo's tourism industry. Chairman of Commission 3 of West Manggarai DPRD said the TNK, the park with the Komodo dragons, is an icon of Labuan Bajo tourism. It is the main attraction for tourism visits to the super priority destination. The closure of the park has the potential to reduce the number of tourist visits and impact the local economy. He explained many small to large entrepreneurs have invested in the tourism industry that has the potential to lose if the number of tourists to Labuan Bajo decreases drastically due to the closure of the park. Many hotels will have low occupancy, tourist trips will be quiet, travel agents will close, the craft industry will die, culinary entrepreneurs, etc. will go bankrupt. The National Mandate Party, PAN, politicians said that the closure of TNK also has potential to trigger a wave of layoffs in the industry. This condition will increase the number of unemployed in the area. Efforts to reduce the poor population are increasingly difficult to realize. Because the current icon is still TNK, there's not enough time for the next year to prepare other destinations with the same selling value as the national park. Because those Komodo dragons, they bring in people. They are pretty impressive creatures. He explained that since Sail Komodo 2013, tourism promotion in the park area has been very massive in order to attract tourists to Komodo National Park. And the Komodo dragons have been introduced in Indonesian pavilion activities at Nations with Wonder at Expo 2020, held in Dubai, and they are included in the 7 wonders of the world. Are they? The determination of Labuan Bajo as a super priority tourism destination is because of the dragons, and likewise Komodo Airport will open direct flights from abroad because they want to increase the tourism activities there to bring up the local economy. And the local government has no power to refuse this. He said that the regional government found it difficult to prevent the central government from closing the park because it does not have authoritative authority over the area that is a favorite tourist destination. The park is managed by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry through BTNK. He asked BTNK to carefully consider the plan to close the park. If it's closed, if it has to be closed, he said, he suggested that it not be closed completely. He said it could be done on certain days or at certain locations in the park, possibly limiting the number of people that come in on a daily basis. He also asked the central government to start preparing other areas in South Labuan Bajo to be used as new areas for the development of Komodo animals. The central government's support for the improvement and development of tourist destinations outside of the park itself must be increased. It's not known yet whether tourism activities in the area will be closed completely or only on certain days. BNTK is reviewing the plan to close the park to tourism activities. The closure is, as I mentioned before, planned for the middle of next year. And so, if you want to go to Komodo National Park, you might want to make a plan to get there before next year, because no telling what's going to happen there. If it is in fact going to close, and if it does close, is it going to close totally? And if it closes totally, for how long? And if it's partial, are there going to be limits on the numbers or what? So stay tuned, follow up on this story. And driving, of course, traffic is a huge ongoing problem here, and you have the LRT as one possible solution to this problem. Nobody has really figured out how to deal with this. There are an increasing number of traffic accidents and injuries, and in some cases deaths. And so another traffic operation is underway, Operation Patuh Agung. Dozens of violators prosecuted, and this was from the first day, and so there have been more since then. The first day was, I think, on the 14th, and this is the 18th, so it's been going on for 4 days. On the first day of police operation, codenamed Operation Patuh Agung 2024, dozens of violators were prosecuted by members of the Badung Police Traffic Unit, and up here as well in Buleleng. The dozens of violators were a combination of two-wheeled and four-wheeled drivers. Head of operations for Badung Police confirmed that there were 52 violators caught on the first day in Badung area. Some of the violators were ticketed, while others were only given warnings. We give many sanctions, both in the form of tickets, violation acts, and sympathetic warnings to motorcyclists who do not wear helmets, vehicles that do not comply with the specifications, and four-wheeled or more vehicles that do not comply with traffic regulations, according to the head of the task force. Of the 52 violators who were caught, 10 were ticketed manually, 20 were ticketed electronically, and 22 were given sympathetic warnings. The violators who were ticketed electronically were because they were not wearing helmets or they were not wearing safety belts if they were in cars. The type of violations recorded included violations of traffic signal devices through electronic traffic law enforcement. As many as 8 people were caught for that. Helmets, 8 people, and violations without using safety belts, 12 people. They were caught by the cameras. According to the head of the task force, this operation is very important to reduce the number of traffic violations and accidents. The number of traffic violations and accidents have continued to increase every year. Throughout 2023, in the jurisdiction of the Bali police, there were 7,466 accidents, 655 deaths, and this figure has increased significantly from 2022. In 2022, there were 3,692 traffic violations and 508 fatalities. The increase in the number of traffic accidents that occurred correlated with the increase in the number of traffic violations over the past 2 years. Meanwhile, the accidents were caused by many factors, such as vehicle factors, environmental factors, in this case road conditions and weather, and human factors. Human factors were the biggest cause of traffic accidents, either due to violations or being unruly in traffic. The targets that are the priority in this operation include driving vehicles while using cell phones, and that is done a lot, not wearing S&I helmets or seat belts, running red lights, driving at high speed, going against the flow, and those committed by foreign and domestic tourists who commit traffic violations because they just don't know what the rules are. And as I mentioned in the last video, local authorities are asking Indonesian citizens, please be a good example, which means wear your helmet, stop driving the wrong way down one-way streets, don't have 150 people on the back of your motorbike, stop at red lights, and follow all of the rules. Wear a seatbelt if you're in a car. And what's going on up here in Buleleng, my favorite place in Bali? Peeking into Buleleng tourism, Satpol PP, dressed like adventurers. When I hear that, I always think of Dora the Explorer. I don't know why. I guess just because I spent so many years watching it with my granddaughter. Buleleng Regency now has 12 newly inaugurated Satpol PP tourism members. Uniquely, they no longer wear the standard uniform consisting of long-sleeve shirts, vests, tactical pants, and PDL shoes. I don't know what PDL shoes are. They wear short-sleeve shirts, shorts, field shoes, and jungle hats like adventurers. You see the photo. Head of Buleleng Satpol PP explained that this new uniform is in line with standards of Bali Province Satpol PP and other regencies and cities in Bali. The aim is to improve a friendly and humanistic approach in carrying out their duties. It's hoped that this new appearance will give a positive impression in every interaction with the community and tourism entrepreneurs. He also explained that Satpol PP Tourism is responsible for security and order in tourist attractions and the optimization of regional original income (PAD) from the tourism sector. They work synergistically with related agencies to ensure compliance with regulations, including business permits and payments of levies for tourism entrepreneurs. Each squad consists of 12 members who are ready to patrol throughout the Buleleng area, controlling activities related to tourist attractions, tourism actors, and tourism business. And we'll finish on a story about a video that went viral the other day, and there was a person, and according to the story, it was a kid, on a flying fox and just stopped in the middle and wasn't going anywhere, and so started rocking himself to get himself to move forward, and eventually was able to get off. Well, it turns out that this was an unlicensed flying fox. Unlicensed, Klungkung Satpol PP closes flying fox at Diamond Beach, Nusa Penida. This was after checking. It turned out that the ride had not yet obtained a permit. Satpol PP Klungkung conducted a field check after a viral video on social media showed a flying fox ride around Diamond Beach. The flying fox stretches from one cliff to another with a height of about 30 meters above the ocean. In the viral video on TikTok, there's a foreigner who's still a child, trying to ride the flying fox. However, he got stuck in the middle. Other tourists who saw the incident immediately panicked. Luckily, the child was able to slide again by moving his body back and forth. When contacted regarding this matter, the head of Satpol PP confirmed that his team had immediately gone to the location. Viral videos do work. The field check was carried out on Tuesday, a few days ago, together with other agencies such as PUPR, Nusa Penida District, and DLHP. From the results of the check, it turned out the company that made the flying fox ride was not able to show the permit documents. The businessman was summoned to his meeting. During the meeting, it was decided the Flying Fox ride would be closed as of Friday, last Friday. Meanwhile, the Flying Fox entrepreneur is willing to fulfill all licensing requirements before operating. It's known that the Flying Fox ride started operating on July 2nd. And so if you're going to be on some of these rides and different things that they have, check on the safety, especially if you've got your kids involved in it, because you never know what's going to happen. I don't know what they would have done if that child had not been able to push his way to the end. So be careful out there. And that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe, and I will see you next time.